Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending upon where you live around the world. Yes, indeed, we're back at it again, and back at it again after a little bit of a false start, I've got to confess. During the previous video, which has been deleted, I came across a problem, and it caught me by surprise because no problem should have been able to exist, but one did. So, I had to go research what it is. Now, can you guess what I'm talking about? Well, that's why there is a white coloured strut, not a grey one. Anyway, I will tell you what I had come across, and yeah, I'll do that first, shall I? And I actually can't remember how much in the other video I covered, so I'm virtually starting from scratch. So I'm going to get rid of the hubs and the silhouette. Well, that was one problem. Actually, there was two problems I came across. In the production of the struts there in the other video, I went through and I started deleting something that I thought was an errant bit of the model. It wasn't. It was actually my silhouettes here. So I had to go create those again. So, darn it. Now, I'm going to put the honeycomb back in, and there's a reason for that. In fact, I could have used the silhouettes. This strut here, for some reason, wasn't generated exactly the same as this one. And I only picked it up, eventually, when I couldn't see the line of the honeycomb, or the silhouette as it was, but the honeycomb on top of the strut itself, and you should have been able to, and I couldn't, meaning it had been created or rotated or something. I've got no idea, but it wasn't right. The point of this may well be, or the lesson that you could take from it is remembering to see, just the drawing detail here of the line of the honeycomb. Excuse my cough. The line of the honeycomb is the top surface of your strut. And if you can't see it, as was the case on that strut, go chase down the reason why you can't. But when you haven't got it there, you would be none the wiser. So, how did I come across this? Well, let me just go do this first. I will take my tool here and colour that. Right. I was about to... I've just got it there. I've kept this in its right position. What I'd done was, in fact, I'll back it up a bit. I'll introduce that there. I'll put in a guideline, and then I'll get rid of the tube. What I was doing was I was explaining, and I'll explain more about the reductions in a moment, but I was explaining that as you lift and lower the plate, it will start touching the struts at different points. And I'm just going to actually back that up now. It doesn't matter where I put it, so long as it's off the surface. Now I'm going to lower it down very slowly, and you'll see the top two tabs, or the struts, will come through right there. And they're doing so evenly, which is kind of a bit of a hint. And the next one down is the two lower ones. They've come through evenly. And then the next one, and there we go. And these ones here come through evenly, or at the same time. Now, that didn't happen in the other video. But what that does also show you is, and why I made the comments about the structure of the hub having thickness. And in this case, the thickness and height will determine how you use them. And also where you may wish to bend the tabs down. Ideally, all the tabs are the same length from the center line. There's no requirement for that, but it's wise. So whatever the length is, it is. And I suggest it's wise to have all the bends also at the same distance from the end of the tab or the center of the plate itself. Now let's have a quick look at that. From this tab up here to where it intersects is along this roughly about here. We look down in the bottom right hand corner, it's 111 degrees, 111 millimeters. Here it is about 125, so quite a bit of difference. And here 139, so a big difference. So you take the shorter or shortest length, which was, what was it? About 110 millimeters, and that will be where you would bend all of the tabs. But in doing so, the amount you reduce it by or whatever, it can change. And this is the problem with this particular approach. If you want to keep the tops of the struts in the correct geometrical place for the purposes of the battens, the cladding, if you want to use rigid battens, when you introduce dihedral angles. And that is a little bit of an issue that I don't see other people worrying about when they make their domes, and they simply bolt everything up. It would appear to a common level or point on the plates, which must, as I'm explaining, put the top surfaces out of geometrically correct position. It's just, you can't not do that. And that only came about by doing these sorts of models and realising that impact. So, that is a preamble, pretty flaming long. And you don't have to work, again, I'll keep on saying this, so get used to it. You don't have to remember this, all of this. I'll be doing this again. And you can always request a bit of a clarification. No, I can't perhaps do all people's requests. That would be a little bit unmanageable. But if there's some relating to this, I will try and accommodate. Righty-ho. Now, yes, by the way, we have said that the diameter at the time of creating this plate, this tabbed plate, this diameter that we've got here is 60 millimeters. So I reduced the struts, which I'm going to show you on a different set of struts, but I decided then, in fact, I'll do it right now. If I'm going to reduce the strut lengths to accommodate my plates, it's easy to take, I'll just put a guide on, is to go into the group, select that face, and move back 60 millimeters. I then repeat it for all the other struts, meaning that it will be at the point where the circle is created on the plate. Now, I haven't created a plate hub for this area, but I'm just indicating what I did in the previous, point. I can also see that I've duplicated some of the struts, and they shouldn't have been. And that would have been when I rotated the models around. So for some reason, and I showed you what I was doing in that previous video, I deselected those struts. So why they copied like that, got no idea. Anyway, so the voice is breaking. The hubs, the struts were reduced by the 60 millimeters to show you that. But when you look at them here, reducing it by 65 millimeters leaves a big gap here, small gap here, and a gap there, but no gap there. And in fact, they actually touch each other. So you may decide to reduce it by 65 millimeters and then just give a little bit of a swipe of a plane to take the corners off. Or you make this, the reduction, shrinking it back from the center point, you may decide to move back 65 millimeters, which makes sense. Oops, hang on. And you may decide to make the circle on this plate 65 millimeters. No real requirement, you can make it what you want. So once you've got that under your hat, so you've decided how far you're going to pull back the struts, in this case 60 mil, but it might be 65. You go around and do that to everything else, because the intersection, or if some struts may have more of an issue, and I think, in my own personal opinion, the smaller you keep the hub, the center piece, the nicer it looks. But there are issues with that, and I'm addressing them now. So if you decide to make everything 65 millimeters, fine, 65 millimeters it is, and you move forward. Make it 80 millimeters, make it whatever you want. So, but then you've got to come up with the amount that or the position that you need or want to bend the tabs at. And if we're using this as an example, it was about 110 millimeters, it would be wise to bend the tabs at that point. I'm not going to go too much longer on that. I probably will repeat this video at some stage. But you're now at a point where, let's just have a look. You'll move the plate up, so it clears everything. And the length of that plate is about 140 millimeters. Now, I said that if we came back 110, that would be a good place to start. And this is where you can choose to, let's see, I can put a line there, and I'm going to select that, and I'm going to bend it down. Again, don't worry, I'll go over this again. Look out of that. And if you did this to all of the tabs, and then you lower the plate down, let's just do it very slow. Oh, there we go. See how the one part of the plate is still going through the or down through the timber, and now we get to about there. Whoop, there we go, right at that point. So you may have to create a groove or flatten off the end of your strut to clear, and that will give you a flush point here. Now, did you note how much I went down? How much I bent this by? I'll word that again. I went down here 110 millimeters, did I not? I took a guide off of the strut, because all of them are different. Put the line there, click that, and I'm going to rotate that down that amount. Now I'm going to undo that. Now, this is still the same plate. It hasn't moved. This is still the same position for the bend as is this. This one's effectively sitting on the strut. This one's not. In fact, it's in the air. Do you then bend it at this point instead of here? Don't know. And this is why I'm doing it. That's why I said I'll do this one again. This is why I said in the previous video, it all depends upon where you put the bend and how much. And having this sort of, it's not an issue, but awareness, you can run up against that thing I've been talking about before, that some plates will have their struts lifted out of their geometrically correct place. It's also why I said, hey, let's do this with the batten, not the strut. Leave the strut alone, leave it in its geometrically correct place, and let's take care of a lot of the issues with the batten. You know I've said that, but it's incorrect as well. You think, oh my giddy aunt, David. No, we'll get there, don't worry. I kind of do this deliberately, and I kind of do it as I remember to do it. So, yeah. Trust me, I've already got a model done with this, but I want you to step through the process with me so that when you do it, your thought processes will probably get revealed in what I'm doing. One of the first people to ask a question when I started doing this series was about, you wanted to do something in their spring, which would have been now, obviously in the northern hemisphere. But I indicated that I'm happy to do that, but I want to do the giving a person a fish or giving them a fishing rod, that sort of thing. I don't want to give you the information to build your dome. I want you to have the information to allow you to build the dome that you want. And this is what we're doing here. The necessity to have your tabs bent, they can have problems. I could draw a model up for you right now. But what I've done was I've kept the bend very close to the circle of the center part of the plate. And the grooves are set into the struts themselves. And they can vary by about 15 millimeters or more. So some will be sitting on the strut and others will be recessed into the strut. So, yeah. And that's going to apply for, critically, this version. This one I still like a lot because of its simplicity, but I like this one for structural reasons. But when we come to do it, you'll understand my thinking around showing you a logical step forward of idea, bending it here at a common point. It's a fine idea, but then the downside of it, or if there's a downside. So as I said, I like keeping the bend back here somewhat, not up here. Anyway, gone through that a little bit. It was just, as I said, it was a step-by-step, logical way of looking at it, but logic and practicality, not necessarily the same thing. And we'll go through it again. I'll use exactly the same plate, exactly the same struts, and we will do it the way I think it would be wise, and also for just the tab, not this plate, but just the tabs, and that will aid you also understanding that these struts are at quite a different height to each other. Rightio, I know, very, very, me yik-yakking, wordy, bit boring, but if it's whetted your appetite to carry on watching, that'll be great. I've done you a service, because do not go down a path that you don't need to go down. And this was it. Don't go down that path. Rightio, that's it. I'm happy. You may not be, but I'm sure that by the time we've finished this series of videos, you'll be able to do the domes probably as quick and as easy as I now am able to do. So long as I don't make mistakes when I'm drawing it. That annoyed me. Rightio, that's it. See you later. See you in the next one. Bye.